Okay, so welcome everyone who is joining us, and very welcome Bruce Crayer. I'm so happy to be here with you, and the reason why we come together is because two powerful tools are coming together, and it's HeartMath and the Global Dyad meditation. And I'm really happy. It started last September when actually I met Bruce Crayer at in Cannes at an event where he was talking about HeartMath technology, and on our flight back home we met in the airplane and we had a beautiful flight over the Alps. And as I was in the process to write my book on the power of Dyad meditation, I connected with Bruce, and it was just really I was really happy that you were willing to have an interview and support me, especially on the chapter on the scientific research. So very welcome here, Bruce. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you here on the call.
Thank you so much, Simone. This is very fun for me, and it's fun to have the memory of how this began, as you say, in a lovely event in Cannes with Andrea Pennington and many lovely people, and then the flight home, the flight back was a treat as well. So I'm looking forward to this call and also our workshop together soon. I think it'll be great. So it feels like a very appropriate combination, the work you've been doing so long with the dyad concept and how that can be such a powerful tool in relationships and communication. And at the core of HeartMath is a very similar concept that we need to learn how to be coherent in ourselves, with each other, and with the world, with our community, with our family. So it's fun to put the two dynamic systems together.
Yes, it was really appealing to me, especially when I heard you talk about it. But before we go there, maybe I want to say just to the people who don't know you or who don't know me, just who we are. So from what you just started a new, I don't want to call it a new job, because as just the way I know you, it's probably more a new way of service. Being the president of the Graduate Institute for Holistic Healing, and as a former CEO of the HeartMath Institute, and you were one of the co-founders. Is it 20, 30 years ago?
Almost 30. It started officially in 1991. But we had been forming prior to the actual founding, so it's a good 30 now.
And you're teaching the HeartMath technology all over the world, and also especially at Stanford, University.
Stanford University. Tomorrow, I will be teaching online through Stanford tomorrow, and again Thursday. And Stanford. Different facets of the university have brought it in for 24 years now. So it's had a 24-year ride in various parts of Stanford. And that's a great group of people, as you can imagine, the kind of people who work at Stanford and are teaching there and are in the departments of astronomy or medical or art, wherever they are. They're amazing people. And I've had a chance to work with many hundreds and hundreds of them over the years.
Oh. And what I like, now you're the president of the Graduate Institute for Holistic Studies. What I really like is because I see you as a holistic human being, because it's like you have this business side of you, and then you also have this artistic side of you. You're a dancer, a singer, an actor, and an author. So it's that I would say those different qualities coming together, which I really, really enjoy seeing.
Thank you. Well, and you said I'm a holistic person, I think something like that. And I thought, well, we all are. I'm just aware of it. And a lot of people are aware that we're a system, that we can try to think the mind is different than the body, it's different than the spirit, is different than the emotions. But I think a lot of us kind of reach a point in our own work in ourselves and study that we're a whole system any way you look at it. And so therefore you and I are now a whole system, two whole systems integrating. And the community watching this is a system of people all watching and contributing and participating in this. So it's all a whole system, but we make things not feel whole because of ignorance and lack of understanding, et cetera. So it's fun to be part of an organization that's been for 20 years now teaching around these ideas to adults, who want to further their own personal journeys and personal growth, let alone their professional development. So it's a great opportunity. It's not even 2 months since I was appointed president, and it's been an exciting ride already, and a lot of opportunity.
Yeah,
especially now in these times where concepts like the global Dyad, HeartMath, holistic principles seem more relevant than ever.
I mean, I remember a couple of weeks or months ago when we started planning also our upcoming workshop. That's on the 27th of August. We have that 3-hour workshop and doing together. It seemed like you going to have a quiet summer, but things are changing so much.
That's right. When we started planning this, I didn't even know I was going to be president, let alone had I accepted. So yeah, things can change, boy, if life hasn't proved that to us in the last 6 months.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for those people who don't know me, I just a couple of words to myself. I just recently found out I actually have an LLM, which I used to have an old saying it's a liture, but LLM is actually I'm a master of law. It sounds really. I studied the law. Yes, I studied the law. I finished years ago. I've never become a lawyer, but I studied the law. And what I really enjoyed is this way of thinking. It's a straight and very logical thinking. And then being a holistic person, combine it with meditation. And then also I'm a certified trainer for nonviolent communication and also a certified NARM, neuroaffective relational model and practitioner. So I work with trauma, and bringing that all together. And now also the Global Diet Meditation, the platform I started 2017 to make this approach available to as many people around the world. So I really enjoy having these knots coming together and doing this upcoming training. So what I would like to, maybe you want to talk a little bit about heart coherence. What is it that people can expect also in the training if they sign up? And what is it about, what do you understand by heart coherence?
Well, to explain that, I think, pardon me, a little bit of background on HeartMath would be helpful. But to directly answer your question, heart coherence is a state that many, many, many humans have experienced. And we maybe called it flow. Or if you were an athlete, you called it, I was in the zone. I couldn't miss. Every putt I made, every shot I tried, where almost magical things happen. And we may have experienced it watching a sunset or standing by a lake and feeling the peacefulness of the lake or hearing the ocean waves and just find yourself sort of mesmerized and in this other state that is so nice and peaceful and centered. And all of these are connected to what is now understood as a measurable physiological state called heart coherence. And it's somewhat technical why we even came up with that term, but coherence means aligned, means centered, means in sync, synchronized. So when we're in a state of heart coherence, it means literally the heart is beating in the most efficient way possible. And that's because our emotions, our mind, our bodies, our spirits are all fairly aligned. And so that becomes reflected in the heart itself. So the heart becomes more and more coherent as our mind and emotions become more and more coherent. When that happens, we're feeling fantastic. We're feeling like, this is what I want to feel like all the time, which is why those moments at a sunset by the lake with a puppy, with a child, are so memorable because you just feel like, wow, feels so good. So one of the fundamental understandings of HeartMath and discoveries of HeartMath was that this state we call heart coherence is absolutely natural. It's absolutely designed into us as humans. But we aren't taught this as children. If anything, we're taught more and more as we grow to rely more and more on our brain and our mind and our head, as opposed to our heart. And so for many people, there's a kind of a gap or a schism between their head and their heart. So when that happens, it's hard to be in a heart coherent state because your mind is saying, why would you do that? The mind is the most important thing. Why are you paying so much attention to your heart? So to have heart coherence means you have to be in a more holistic state for that really to occur. It's not going to happen if the mind is doubting and criticizing and judging and stuck in the past, unable to forgive something. It's hard to get into a coherent state in your heart if you got a mind running and racing, in monkey mind, whatever you may want to call it. So HeartMath kind of set out to understand all that because we believe that the heart was far more than Western medicine had led us to believe over the last 150 years or so. We believe that the Chinese medicine principles that never changed, that the heart is central, that the heart is a source of thought, not just blood, was still true. That Ayurvedic systems, that other spiritual philosophies, every religion of the world viewed the heart as central to the human experience. And somewhere along the way, thanks in part to Descartes and to other Western scientists, we began to believe it's only a pump, a fantastic pump, but it's only a pump. And little by little, the research that HeartMath began to do in the early 90s started to show, yes, it's a pump, we agree, but it is so much more than a pump. And you can bring it into the state that you've asked me to describe called heart coherence. This is possible for all of us to do. And when we do that, our brain's better, our life feels better, our sense of balance and inner flexibility improves, a lot changes. And heart coherence is an achievable state. It's fairly easy to teach people how to get into it. And learning how to stay there is another story. It's another challenge. You can learn how to ride a bike. To get really good at riding a bike takes some practice. And so does heart coherence. But
I really like what I'm hearing, because it's so interesting. That's part of why I see so many connecting points between what you're just explaining about the heart or the intelligence, heart coherence or the intelligence of the heart. And when it comes to the Dyad meditation, which is a system where two people are sitting across of each other and one person asking a question and the other person is being present and being there with an open heart, but it's still mind. And you were talking about the monkey mind. What happens in a Dyad meditation is that it's so much quicker. I'm in that state of stillness, and because there is another presence here with me. And just recently, for the last 1 week, we are pondering or exploring stillness, and listening to what you just explained about the heart was just the alignment. This is my felt experience when I go inside, and one of the questions would be like embracing stillness, what arises, or living stillness, how is my life? And when I do that, I'm falling into what I would call the center of my being, which I think it's just another word for I fall into my heart. I fall into my heart wisdom, my heart knowledge. I understood that this is what is meant by aligning all my bodies with like physical, emotional, mental body with the true me. And that's my understanding. That's the state of coherence. And I'm just really fascinated how it's just a different view with different ways. That's what I really enjoy, that there are different ways which actually are pointers for I think, as well as the HeartMath, as well as the global diet. For me, this is not just another way of meditating, but it's a gift to humanity to have a different experience of who we are and a different experience in our relationship, our human relationship, and also the different experience with the divine.
Beautifully said, Simone. And I would add that to me, life is about growth. And that doesn't mean we should just be growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. I mean, there are certain limitations like our height. We're not going to keep on growing till we become 20-foot tall humans. There's an appropriate limitation there based on our physiology, but on just about every other level, emotionally, mentally, why would there be limits? Why would we not want to continue to grow and continue to learn and continue to evolve? The world clearly is. So the world has just thrown us a massive change package called COVID. And so to say humans are not designed to grow and change would be kind of crazy. Well, wouldn't we have to? Because we never know when something, I mean, a massive volcano could erupt and we would have to change because of that. You know, an asteroid could get so close and we would have to change because of that. So to me, growth and change are not just something we should do, but we're designed to do, and it's fun to do. And learning about global diets, I'm not threatened by that. Like, I'm not sure if I want to learn this. I'm into HeartMath. Why would I learn about global diets? Because what your life experience has brought you to is something I can learn from and be inspired by. And who knows how it could have changed some aspect of my life. And so to me, being able to be able to recognize and be excited about learning and be excited about growing, and not saying, oh, that just happens when you're young. Yes, you're supposed to learn and grow when you're young, and maybe through college. But after that, pick a lane, pick the career, and just stay there. Yeah, you may have a crisis later on called the midlife crisis, and it may kind of throw you for a loop. And I'm saying a midlife crisis is your spirit saying, time to grow. You've been stuck in some way, and it's time to grow. And so why even think of it that way? Why not think of it as our lives are designed to continue to grow? That's what nature does. Nature doesn't stop. Nature continues to create and evolve. Why would we not be the same? We're part of nature. If somebody says, no, I'm not. Oh, really? You're not part of nature? Show me where you are on planet Earth and you're not part of nature. So of course we are. So we're living in a system, a holistic system, that is about growth and about change and about learning. And to me, that's what is exciting about these kinds of things, is they enhance that. They help get the junk out of the way. So what wants to continue to be born and to grow and to learn new things has a chance to do that more fully, and to help us go in directions of our life we never would have imagined. I am growing like crazy right now in my advanced years, learning a whole new set of people, I live in an entirely different place. I have a whole different set of responsibilities than I did 2 months ago in my life. And so I'm embracing it. I'm like, bring it on. I want to learn more so I can be of more value to others and to have a more fun and exciting life myself. So I'm just, other than that, there's nothing about what you're talking about that I can relate to. Meaning, I love it all. Thank you.
It's listening to you, it just reminds me, one of my teachers, I just recently read, he said, the moment we grow in consciousness, we also grow in our tasks and services out in the world. So it really seems that we're growing, we're always growing, but it's also, we're growing in also more work, but we're also growing in more responsibility. And I really like that. So it's, yeah. So what I'd like, we have a couple of more minutes. I just don't know how to do this, but I tried to switch to see what we have, if there are any questions. hear from people. No, I don't see right now. So probably they're just coming up later. Let me just see here. Let me see if I can have this. No, it doesn't seem. Okay, good. So I hope I didn't just change something here because I pushed some buttons, but it seems we're still okay. Yeah, so let's talk just the last couple of minutes about our upcoming event, because I found this combination so powerful, so important that I wanted to bring us together, and we're creating a 3-hour event on August 27. I will post the link if people are interested. And yeah, maybe you want to say just a little bit about what you plan to offer, as far as you can say now. I know we're still working on it, and I will say a little bit about what I want to, how we have a sense of how we're going to spend our 3 hours together.
Well, I'm mostly going to be listening to you talk about the global Dyad meditation. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy not having to lead a workshop. For part of the time, I will do that. I'm so sorry for the... Well, to me, these themes of HeartMath and what HeartMath has learned about the nature of the heart and about coherence and how that can impact every aspect of our life, and the passion that I also have around creativity itself. To me, there's a powerful blend there. And I also think about creativity not as just artistic expression, but the creativity that's happening in this moment, like you and I right now. We're not working from a script. This is the first time you've tried to do a Zoom through Facebook. We're creating as we go. Mm-hmm. And actually nearly all of us are nearly all the time, unless our life is literally working from a script. Unless it is, then we are literally creating every moment. So I know there's going to be an energetic in our 3-hour session on the 27th, which will be very much about creating. Like when we're, without having gone through your process yet, global Dyad meditation, I can only imagine that the two people, both of whom are creative forces of nature, that's what humans are going to be connecting. And that's going to create something new that did not exist before. And in large, I'm sure most of those people, most of those pairs will not be people who know each other. So they are engaging each other for the first time. Something new is going to be created as a result of that interaction. So to me, there's going to be heart, there's going to be creativity, there's going to be activities we'll do. There'll be this opportunity, this deep kind of process that you will lead, I know, around this, the global Dyad meditation, to go even deeper with this, with another person, not just ourselves. So I would love to attend. It sounds really fun to me.
It is. And what is that? I know that some people really also like to have some just theoretical background, and you will give us the go, but yes. You go into the details on what it is and what the research is, and just also what happens in our system, our nervous system, what's happening when we get triggered, and so that the combination of being in the now and creating from the now, that's exactly what's happening when we do a diet. And of course, when we meet a person and we're invited to share with a person we've never met before, that's quite scary for some people. I mean, it's just not, I think it's how we're meant to be and how we come, because we come open-hearted, but because of our life experiences, we also have had different experiences, and then coming back into a safe, I call it a safe, sacred space where I'm welcomed as I am, and having that experience of, wow, I can dive into my inner world and speak it out. So I'm actually creating from that moment, and I'm also healing in that moment from experiences I have. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that, and I having the creative part, doing a diet, giving people the chance to do a diet, especially with what we learned from your sharing about HeartMath, and having some creative and moving parts in it. So it's 3 hours sounds long, but it's going to be the 3 hours that we're also taking care of our physical, not only emotional and mental well-being, but also on our physical well-being.
Yeah, I know this is going to be a very experiential, interactive 3 hours. So while you and I are talking right now and talking about, I know there'll be a lot of opportunity to experience through mindfulness, through movement, through the global Dyad meditation. So yes, I think there will be part of the attraction, I know, with HeartMath over the years has been this strong theoretical foundation and research foundation. So people's minds love that part, as do I. I love to talk about it. So I will definitely share some of that that's appropriate for this, because that can make it richer when you realize, wow, this process I'm doing right now, this is helping my immune system. This is helping my autonomic nervous system. This is helping my brain and my heart communicate better with each other. That all sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
To know that just gives it kind of the icing on the cake, that it doesn't just feel good. There's reasons it feels good that are worthy of study.
And it's really also not just as feeling good, but for me, this was where actually wanting to give an experience, I don't want to call it teaching, is actually really also a way of skill building. So really, it's a set of skills that we can, if you're not there yet, but we can really train it, and we can make a difference in our lives and in lives of any other one. So I'm looking forward to that. Really, it's getting fun there. So thank you so much for our chat together. Let's close it for the moment. I haven't had time. I will go through. Maybe there are some questions. Let's have them answered through the replay. And looking forward, I'm going to post the link for those people who are interested. It's the 27th of August. It's noon Eastern time, United States, and it's 6 p.m. European time, Zurich, Berlin. And so we hope to, have a lot of people joining us, and I'm really looking forward. Thank you so much, Ruth.
My pleasure, Simone. It was great. Enjoyed it.
Okay, so here we go. Now I stopped our, let's see, I don't know how this, if it worked or not, we will see. If not, I do have the recording here, so I can just put that online. Yeah, that was fun. I think we covered.
You're still recording, by the way. Looks like.
Yeah, but this is just for a Zoom.
Sure, right.
Okay. Yeah, well, I can.
Great. Yeah, I think we got into a good little flow there. That was good.
Let me just